Howdy folks, hope you're all having a good one and welcome back to World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles. Yes, that's right, World of Tanks again. You've probably noticed that I don't feature as many World of Tanks replays as I used to. I certainly do a lot more World of Warships, and there's a couple of reasons for that, mostly because I prefer World of Warships. Mostly because I just prefer the nature of the gameplay. I mean, I love tanks. Tanks are awesome. But I spent 22 years in the Royal Navy, so I have a bit of a soft spot for ships. Plus, while World of Warships is not without its problems, at least there's no gold economy there. You know, if you're terrible at the game, you can't just press 2 and spend a bit of money in order to get good. And that's one of the main reasons why it's very difficult these days to find a World of Tanks replay that's going to please everybody, because no matter what happens, no matter what the player does, like a Rorik 7.8 here in the British Tier 10 light tank, the Manticore, he's going to piss somebody off. If he goes into battle with and uses gold ammo, that's going to be the major complaint in the comments. Well, yeah, sure, I'd like to see him do that without gold ammo, and I'm sure we would like to see people do well without gold ammo. Unfortunately, the harsh reality of World of Tanks, particularly at Tier 10, is that it is balanced around the use of gold ammunition. You don't have to like it. Many of you don't. And many of you have voted with your feet and don't play World of Tanks anymore. Unfortunately, for those of us who do still play World of Tanks, that is just the way it is. So it's always nice, even if it is exceptionally rare, to see somebody doing particularly well when they are not going into battle with a full load of gold ammo, as is the case with the Rorik here. Ah, yes, Jingles, but he's gone into battle with a full load of premium consumables. Oh, for fuck's sakes, what will it take to make you happy? You see what I mean? How about we all just shut up, give credit where credit's due and watch him play? How about, just for a change, instead of just looking for things to complain about, we enjoy a textbook example of somebody demonstrating the kind of light tank gameplay that's not supposed to be possible anymore with the introduction of wheeled vehicles like the EBR 105. A couple of which are present in this battle, doing the typical EBR thing, zipping around at supersonic speeds in plain view in the midfield, getting shot at and usually being missed, although even when they do get hit, shrugging off the damage because apparently rubber tyres are capable of absorbing 122mm armour piercing shells. Instead, a Rorik is doing the light tank thing, making life extremely difficult by passive spotting from the centre of the field here in Malinovka, making life extremely uncomfortable, not just for the T-22 medium over there, upon which he's racked up over 1,500 spotting damage thus far, but also the two T-95s and the Leopard 1, who have stayed to reinforce the enemy base. I sometimes feel like passive spotting is something of a lost art in World of Tanks, not just because the proliferation of armoured wheeled vehicles make it, well, difficult. Because of course, if you're sitting in a bush in the middle of a field, quietly observing the surroundings, and an armoured car goes zooming past you at Mach 2.5, he's going to be the one that gets all of the initial spots, and so he's going to be the one that gets all of the spotting damage. But also because it does require a tremendous amount of self-discipline. You've already seen numerous occasions, even this early in the battle, when many of you would probably have risked taking a shot. You had perfect shots at the T-22 medium earlier, didn't take the shot. You had some pretty good shots at the T-95 over there, didn't take the shot. Because you would probably have hit and done some damage. Let's not forget the Manticore does have a pretty good 105mm gun. But you probably wouldn't have survived the consequences. And it's that temptation to get a number next to your name on the scoreboard, to get a nice big fat number on the damage counter, that is the downfall of many, many light tank drivers, even before armoured cars became a thing. Don't worry, he's not going to be sitting in a bush the whole battle. He is going to get a respectable number of kills, he is going to get a fairly impressive damage number, but it's going to be dwarfed by the amount of spot and damage that he's going to accumulate during the course of this battle. Because being an effective light tank spotter in World of Tanks these days requires two things. First, it requires that there are no EBRs in the battle, or if there are, they're not very good. Because that's sadly just the way armoured cars were designed to fit into World of Tanks. I mean, what they do looks dangerous, and if you try to do it in a light tank, you'd have your tracks blown off and be immobilised and dead in open ground within seconds, but, well, armoured cars seem to be able to shrug off the kind of shots that would immobilise and kill a light tank. And so in an armoured car, you have to be either exceptionally bad or exceptionally unlucky to die early in the battle. Oh look, one of them's died early in the battle. The other thing that you need to make this work in a light tank is the ability to know when to make your move. And that often involves communicating your intentions to your team. And if you've been paying attention in chat, that's exactly what Auroric has been doing. Because a light tank, unlike an EBR 105, often doesn't pack the firepower required to deal with any problems that may arise when it runs into unexpected trouble, or even expected trouble, as a result of making its move. And for that you need to communicate with your teammates and let them know what you're going to do so that they can back you up if required. And the thing you have to remember is that your teammates often don't require much in the way of encouragement because they want to do damage, and if you provide them things to shoot at, more often than not, they'll be only too happy to oblige. Auroric is making his move. You'll notice that he'd waited until the Leopard 1 that he'd spotted had been neutralised because the Leopard was the biggest threat, and now he's reasonably sure that that T-95 is the only other thing remaining down here. Now he has a shot, but he needs to make sure he does not get spotted. So he backs up until he's more than 5 metres away from the bush that's given him concealment, takes the shot, doesn't get the kill, but hey, that's what his teammates are for. Under the circumstances, I think he could have probably handled the T-95 alone, but hey, why take the risk? Oh, good news, spotted artillery. Probably won't get the kill here, at least not with one shot, and this will probably also get him spotted, but it's too good an opportunity to pass up. He is, however, not hanging around waiting to take the second shot for two reasons. One, he probably knew he was about to get spotted, and two, the Manticore might have a big gun for a light tank, but it's got a long reload. Can I just direct your attention to the 8,000 spotting damage he's accumulated thus far? Now, for those of you who are used to World of Warships, you're probably thinking, well, big deal. And it's true that you don't actually get rewarded for spotting damage in World of Warships, which is one of the issues that I do have with that game. But you do get rewarded for spotting damage in World of Tanks. Thanks to his assistance, his teammates have clocked up 8,500 damage. And Auroric will earn experience and credits based on half of that. On top of all the damage that he's going to do himself, which is not going to be insignificant, he's also going to be earning, effectively, an extra 4,000 damage worth of experience and credits. It's what makes spotting so... hang on a second. Oh shit. Careful with that axe, Eugene. You might want to get... yeah, there we go. Oh, that nearly ended badly. But yes, this is what makes, or used to make, and certainly is again today, making spotting the bread and butter of good light tank players in World of Tanks. Or at least it was, until EBRs started ruining everybody's fun by effectively playing the game in easy mode. Oh, an object. Takes the shot, multiple layers of concealment, he will not be seen, keeps backing up, he doesn't want to get within 50 metres or the object is going to instantly auto-detect him, and now that the object has gone by, he's safe for the drive-by. He's going to get the second shot off, and he does take a bit of a calculated risk here, which pays off way better than he probably expected it to, because he knew he could afford to take a hit from an Object 705, but the object had the high explosive rather than the armour-piercing loaded, and, well, high explosive has had the shit nerfed out of it as well, so he took minimal damage from that. Just 3 enemies left, and they're all at the top of the hill. 215B, WZ-111 and a 212A. There is no way that Auroric's team can possibly lose this match. I mean, I'm sure some of them are definitely going to try, but the odds are not stacked in their favour. There's the 212A. Note that he takes the shot from a position where the 2 surviving tanks can't help the artillery. 215B, just to be on the safe side, it's around behind him. And now the WZ-111. And the Manticore's 105mm gun is good, but it does have a very slow reload. However, there are so many distractions to the front of the WZ-111. He's going to go to the back of the turret, hoping to get an ammo rack detonation. Unfortunately, it was not to be. But he almost has time to reload and take the second shot before the WZ-111 is able to react. And that's it. Done. He really did make that look kind of easy, didn't he? Ace Tanker, Patrol Duty. The Patrol Duty medal is for assisting your team in damaging at least 6 enemy tanks by spotting them. And that's the tricky part, because while it does require a good degree of self-discipline and the ability to read the battle and understand when is the best time to make your move, 2 skills that not all players possess, the tricky part is actually getting that Patrol Duty medal. Because in order to get it, you have to be the only one on your team spotting those enemy tanks when they take damage. And even if you're sitting in a bush, observing the battle from a reasonably well forward position, you're never going to be as far forward as the EBRs zipping around, attracting all of the enemy fire. They're going to be the ones getting the Patrol Duty medal. So the tricky part is getting into a battle where there either aren't any EBRs, or the EBRs are incredibly unlucky, or they just outright suck. And then on top of that, you also have to know how to spot effectively. And that's why Aurorix 78 finished this battle with, okay, only 3 kills, but 3,000 damage of his own, and almost 9,500 spotting damage. Light tank spotting in World of Tanks. It's almost a lost art. Almost, but not quite just yet. Hope you enjoyed today's video. As always, take care, stay safe, and I'll catch you next time.